No snow this time. I kind of like that. Welcome to Game 6 between Fire and Stark in a 1v1 series where all games are played. No wall mod.
Yes.
World Kingdoms. In the blue, we have Fire. Fire is playing as the Incas. And in the red, we have Stark. Stark is playing as the Malians. You know, now that I think about it, Fire was saying he was wondering if there was a no snow mod that worked with World Kingdoms. So maybe they didn't find a mod, and then it just randomly generated no snow, and they're happy about it. I don't know. So Golden Pit is like Gold Rush, where there's a lot of gold in the middle, and you only have 2 small piles. Only it's different in the fact that there's a pit that makes it more difficult to hold the middle, and it gives you a great advantage from fighting at the top of the hill. So this would be cool. Dave, what are you thinking about the civs?
I don't know. Incas kind of seems to me like a watered down version of Aztecs. And like Malians are really, like they're really strong. Malians are probably in a land map are probably like what, top 5 civ?
Easily.
Most
Easily
likely.
top 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think the Malians kind of have an advantage, and I think they kind of counter the eagle play from the Incas as well a little bit with like the Gebettos and like the different options they can go for.
Yeah, I think Malians are strong for a lot of different reasons. First of all, they have the armor starting in the feudal age, so they're very strong man-at-arms civ. Probably the best man-at-arms civ, that Japanese or Burmese, Magyars or something. But their economy is so strong because every single thing that costs wood is cheaper. So when they build a lumber camp, it's cheaper. Oh, I hear the lame. The fire's gonna lame this boar. But yeah, lumber camps are cheaper, houses are cheaper, everything's cheaper, and it adds up when you go into crossbows later in the game, need ballistics, and pretty much everything. So, I wonder...
Stark sees it.
Yeah, Stark knows what's going on here.
And Fire's eagle is pretty weak. It took a couple hits from that boar.
Yeah, dude, and there's going to be a weird hill here, which I guess, in this case, at this point will just help Fire because the boar won't do as much damage, but yeah. Boar's going to go back home. And this is a fight that Stark will win. So, well played from Stark to notice that. Denied the lane. He should get his boar back. Yeah, I do like Malians a lot. Incas are normally a man-at-arms into Eagle Warrior civ. They do have other options, but I don't know. I feel like they can struggle versus Malians, personally.
Also, there's another consideration for these types of maps where you want to secure the middle. Like, if you're going into a castle to secure it, just like in the Mayans game on the Gold Rush, I mean, there's a consideration for the fact that you want to be able to produce units from those buildings.
Correct. And also consider the fact that Gebettos are really good for Malians.
Yeah.
They do well versus Eagle Warriors as well, if that's what Stark ends up going with. The other weird thing I noticed about the middle to start is how the gold is positioned slightly closer to Fire. There's a ring.
But it doesn't help them that much because they're going to have to build in the same area. You know?
That's a good point as well. It's almost like Stark has a place to build his castle now.
I don't think you can build on that shoreline terrain. So, like, the closest he could get is like a castle up on his side or like a tower.
Yeah.
But that barely even ranges the gold. So I think it's, while they're still on his side of the map, it's kind of even for both players. I'd even favor more Stark because he can build like defensive buildings towards his own base, you know?
Yeah. I think what makes it awkward with this crater is that there's a very long descent. So you can't build anything at the top and protect it, and if you're building it at the bottom, you're in a very exposed position. So we'll see how it plays out. My prediction is that Stark will go man-at-arms. He's done it so many times today, as have most players over the past year with the new balance, and that seems to be the case for Fire as well. Slingers are...
Also...
Oh, sorry, I'm just reading something from the chat. Malian infantry is nice, but slingers are much, much stronger than people appreciate. Well, it's not... You gotta stop thinking about things about, like, in a straight-up fight. So slingers obviously would counter Malian infantry, but Malians have so many other strong options that would counter the slingers as well. So, because the Malians have cheaper wood buildings, they can apply counters so much easier because their economy is going to be stronger. Get the early ballistics, make crossbows easier. It all adds up so much.
Like even the Cavaliers with the 12+7.
Oh yeah, they're so strong.
It's
They would destroy slingers.
brutal. And their like Cavalier upgrade is so cheap too. Like it's just I don't know if you can. I've seen people raiding with Cavalier, like using them as just a pure raid unit, and it's just devastating. And you have your main army of other stuff as well.
When the Civ came out, and by the way, Fire is actually drushing, and he is not going to be going Man-at-Arms, at least not what it looks like. It'll be delayed.
Not on gold, yeah.
When the Civ came out, and I was playing all the Civs and just trying to remember what the bonuses were, I always used to forget that Malians had such strong Cavalier, because it doesn't make any sense that a unit with all those other bonuses would have that as well, you know? Just like one too many things for me. But yeah, they are extremely strong civilization.
There's so much versatility as well, like just a really good civ. Just a really good civ.
Personally, it's my favorite civilization to play in the New Balance, but that's only because it's OP. It's not for any other reason. I think it's very easy to play because it's so strong. But what Fire has done here is actually one of the builds that I'm currently practicing and trying to perfect in my gameplay. Fire has gone for a drush, and then he's clicked up with 25 villagers, and then he's going to go into a feudal age attack, and it's so tough to do that. Right now we are seeing Man-at-Arms from Stark, and the trade is pretty good if you ask me for Fire. I mean, these are going to be Man-at-Arms soon, and he's just killed 2 of them, killed a scout as well. So
I don't know. I feel like that's a bad trade for him.
He killed one, actually.
Like
Sorry, the other one's over here.
Taking the engagement that early with your drush, because your drush is there to idle villagers, but it's also there to hold your opponent's military in. And now the Man-at-Arms are coming over, and they're gonna go probably right to the gold, to be honest.
Well, I guess it does depend. If we can see 2 archer ranges from Fire, which is what I expect here, in time, then I'd say that's good that he was able to kill those infantry units. But I was actually incorrect in my first assessment. I thought that he had killed 2 militia there and a scout, but he only killed 1 and a scout, so he's going to need to wall up here, that's for sure.
And the archer ranges, you got to think that Malians get that +1 pierce as well. So like the archers, even until you get fletching, they're essentially nullified.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're going to see a transition into archers for Stark back at home. His archer ranges are cheaper, which makes it more possible to create more archers. So Stark with a lot of momentum with 4 Man-at-Arms. And Fire actually wasn't heavy enough on gold to create full archers, so he's definitely going to be on the back foot for a couple minutes now.
Malians are so good.
They are so good.
15% cheaper buildings as well.
Even without that, they'd be so strong. Yeah. I think if they're gonna maybe balance them, they need to remove the Cavalier bonuses and make them stronger at this stage of the game and not in late game. But in late game, they're currently very strong as well. If Viper thinks they're the best civ in the game, I tend to agree, as do most.
For land maps, anyway. For like
maps,
a 1v1 land map. So, Dark has created an extra Man-at-Arm. I think he saw the archer decision coming. And he knows that, like, he doesn't even have fletching yet, Fire, so these archers are going to be doing 2 damage per shot to these Men-at-Arms.
Well, I mean, I could say that that's a weird decision, but he has so much map control right now, and his opponent was forced to make a few skirmishers. Also, he still has the eco to already have his blacksmith, already have up these house walls, and already have this many archers. So I'd say nothing has really gone wrong for Stark thus far.
Yeah. I mean, the Man-at-Arms also countered the Eagles if Stark wanted to go, or Fire wanted to go down that road, right?
That's why.
So it's like, if he combines his army right now, and he's got 5 Man-at-Arms plus his archers plus a skirmisher, really going to be tough for Fire to take the fight.
Well, in hindsight, I feel like the drush approach, I like the build that Fire used, but I don't like it versus Malians. You probably want to go Man-at-Arms yourself and try and kill the Malian Man-at-Arms. That way you can create equals versus their archers, right? So it is a pretty interesting strategy choice now that I think about it that way. So good point. Stark's going to have like full house walls up. By minute 20, he's going to be fully house walled. It is Stark, yeah.
He's getting back to his roots. Oh, is Fire going to walk right uphill into this army from Stark?
Oh, but that's
good micro. Wow.
Wow, he killed almost 3 units. Yeah, almost killing that one. So somehow getting out without losing anything is going to force Stark back.
Oh, he had fletching. Stark didn't have fletching at the time.
Yeah, very
That
well
explains
played there
why.
from Fire. That was a good reaction time. I think he patrolled into it, but also he realized right away. I feel like
He's
I need
gonna be
to bring up...
disgusted when he sees these houses.
Yeah. I feel like you need to bring up, Stark is known for his stone walls, so when I contacted him about this, he said 11 and said, "You serious?" And so I said, "Yes, I think you can do well. I believe in you," or something. He goes, "Okay, I'll play for sure." He's
done pretty good, man. Like, he's a
yeah.
great player. I don't care. Like, walls are just part of his play style, right?
Exactly.
But he's a really good player.
All right, now Fire needs
This
to
is
trade.
bad for Fire.
Yeah, this is an
This
awful
is
position
bad.
for him. Yeah, I don't get why he ventured in here. I mean, of course, he maybe did not expect all these walls, but you got
all the archers going down right away.
And also, Fire had his eagle, so a lot of players might use the eagle warrior to scout out first. I think, you know what, he was there a moment ago too, because look at what he can see. So he knew that was there. That's really odd decision from Fire. I have no explanation for that.
Yeah, that's that was a strange choice, and it's paused again.
Yep.
They love their pauses here.
I forget what he's been saying every time he pauses. Something like, I don't know. I don't know what it means. So maybe if he says it again, I can get a translator.
Yeah, just start reading the Portuguese off, Tristan.
Yeah. Anybody speak Portuguese in the chat?
Here you have hundreds of people who speak Portuguese.
Probably. I imagine we have a lot of Germans right now. And I imagine we have a lot of
Americans, Canadians,
I
people
think
from
it goes
the UK.
Germany. If I were to guess, it goes Germany, USA, Canada. What's it say below the stream, Chad? That's my current guess.
Any Azerbaijanis in the chat?
By the way, Cleveland, thank you for the 4 months. He said, "So great, you can stream full time now. Keep it up. Thank you." And never mind who. I saw this a while ago, man. I'm getting sleepy now. I forgot to say it. Thank you for the 25 bucks, man. That's very generous of you. What's it say below the stream, though, guys? There's a viewer. It says Germany, USA, UK. Okay. So I was close. Germany's always first, though. There's no one that could beat Germany in Age of Empires viewer numbers.
Fire's gonna come out to this forward gold already?
I almost felt like that was a house. But then I saw all the extra villagers. Now this is
already
catching
got
up from
fills
the
on his other
pause.
gold.
Yeah, this is bad.
Those man-at-arms are so devastating,
They're
man.
so
With
strong.
that plus armor,
So
like, the
strong.
skirms can't do anything. Just have to run away. And he's even got a bigger range army as well. Like,
Yeah.
this is just total... This is bad news bears for Fire. Nothing he can do.
For the next 2 to 3 minutes, there's going to be a little bit of stuttering because they paused. The Stark is banking up the resources. And that's the thing, Dave. He didn't invest a lot into this to do this damage. He's created a few skirmishers and archers. He created, what, a total of maybe 6 man-at-arms because he lost some earlier, but it's not a big investment, and Fire is struggling big time now. He's going to try and
Is he gonna wall him in here?
Yeah, he's going to try it. The house is on...
The man-at-arms are
15
coming back to
HP.
kill the house. Watch.
Yeah. The house
Get
is
it!
on 2 HP, so he's going to try and get out, but he has to run through the skirms to do that, so he'll have to just run this way instead. Very interesting idea there from Fire to try and catch up in the army numbers. He did go to Scold back. And you know what? Fire, to his credit, he's going to put the Castle Age first, man, which is very impressive stuff. But I think Stark has had the stronger economy. Stark has more army momentum. Stark has gone for 3 archery ranges, okay. And probably not too far behind with the Castle Age. Okay, translate chat. Puts Mijar
Mijar
Agsec. Puts no. Fire must know. Fire
we
says yes.
butchered that one. Oh my god. Take a couple shots.
I
whoever was drinking.
tried to read German the other day. Needless to say, the Germans weren't impressed.
We took that one out into the street and just beat it to death. Oh my god.
I don't know. Maybe he did have to take a piss. So Fire's going to go into Eagle Warriors and Skirmishers now. Eagle Warriors would be an excellent move if he can afford it. He's adding his second barracks now, and he's immediately building a tower here on this gold. He saw the army walking past the skirms. He realized that Stark had no interest in fighting this, and Stark just wanted to go to this gold instead. Nice little quick walls here from Fire. That's going to allow him to get the tower up. Maybe he can get a trade versus the skirmishers. I think the skirmishers will be more important to Stark than they will be Fire in this game. And nice micro from both players, though it's pretty much 1-for-1. Oh, that was an impressive move from Fire.
Yep.
Nice little runners there, but unfortunately now these guys are going to be isolated. And that'll probably be a victory for Stark, but it was really all about just killing the numbers that Stark had.
Yeah, now Stark probably isn't going to attack. Oh, he's still making skirmishers, so
He's
heavy
gonna go
or elite skirm.
stables, and he's not going to go 2 stables. He's going to go 3 stables and 3
Elite-
archery ranges. Wow.
Elite skirm knight is a decent combo, but I'm not sure about it versus eagles.
Yeah.
So
Elite Skirm versus Eagles doesn't make sense. Also, I don't think he can afford that. Nilly, thank you for the host, the raid, and a host. Chat, let's get some salutes in there for Nilly. Hope your event went well today, man. We are currently 10 hours into the 24-hour stream. Welcome, everybody. And this is T90 series. No wall mods. There are a bunch of house walls, but hey, it's still great games.
it's Stark. What do you expect?
Yeah, of course. It's so weird that he went for so many stables, man. But he's actually producing out of them, so I can't diss
Yeah,
it.
he's producing 1 out of each for now. He doesn't have the gold income to keep 3 going, I don't think, and get the upgrades.
And you know what? We might diss the amount of production building Stark has, but that really just goes back to the fact that this is Golden Pit, and he knows he needs the middle, as does
Yep.
Fire. So both players should be investing a lot into the attack so they can get access to the middle gold.
He is getting all the eco upgrades right away, too, like heavy plow and bow saw immediately.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a pretty nice economy, and looking at Fire's eco, I mean, Stark definitely has the advantage at the moment.
The difference, though, is that Fire is on 1 TC, so Stark might have more villagers, but this is actually very similar to what we saw in the Gold Rush game, except it was flip-flopped. Fire was 1 TC in that game. Stark had more... Wait, no, it's not flip-flopped. The same situation, I'm sorry. Stark had more villagers, but he lost because he didn't have the gold, and Fire put more emphasis on military production, so... I don't know, man. He's going to need a lot of knights with a lot of upgrades versus Inca Eagle Warriors.
Yeah. He's also going to need to come out and secure that little 2 patch of gold near his base. That's the only
Good
other
point.
pile he has. Or just go straight for the middle. Probably working his way towards that. I still feel like he needs the elite skirm upgrade, though, because those are, like, useless without it.
Might
I don't
as
know,
well.
but they're still pretty useless against the Eagles, too. So...
Just do it, man. It just makes logical sense. Just to get that upgrade at this stage.
My OCD kicking in.
But I think the wiser thing would be to put all of his resources into knight upgrades. And you know what? He's gonna get here just as Fire comes out to TC this. And Fire should know that Stark is here because he lost those units, but
He
Stark
sees
just
it.
ran right past.
Also sees those Eagles. Just kill the Vills, man. Just get rid of those Vills.
2 weak villagers.
Skirmishers are
too,
useless
man.
against the Eagles.
These villagers are on half HP, but I think the main concern is on the fight. Now there's a kill advantage for Fire, and there's no +2 defense on the knights. And also
They're both
Fire is
jockeying for
closer to
position.
his barracks. Yeah, you're right, Fire repositioned there for a moment, didn't he?
Stark took the best fight he could there, but it's not going to be enough. There's just too many Eagles.
Fire is going to clean up these skirmishers, which are pretty much just a distraction at this point. I think Fire will lose these 2 vills because they were on half HP. That's a big cleanup for Fire. Fire takes the score lead now. And again, Stark has
And
11
still
more
no
villagers.
production.
11 more villagers, but what are those 11 villagers giving him? He's not giving him gold, that's for sure.
He needs to secure some gold, like, really quickly here. He just ran out of his main pile. There's only 2 little piles there.
Yeah.
And nothing on the middle yet, and he saw that TC. This is really bad for Stark. This is going to go really sideways really quickly.
The only big thing for Stark at the moment, if he takes an engagement coming down this hill, he should be able to kill these TCs and any units that are camping in here earlier. So I think in Fire's shoes, he needs to just hold in front of Stark's base for the next 15 minutes, and then he might be able to win the game. In theory, if Stark ends up marketing, and he's doing that now, he will have more food to sell to get some gold. I think he's almost forced to do that at this stage.
Not much, though. Looking really bad for him, dude. Like, and Fire is with the second TC now in the middle, so even if Stark were to win a really convincing fight, he still has to clear up the TCs in the middle.
Well, I think what we're going to see... What Stark was probably going for was a castle in the middle. You can see he's heavy on stone, but he just sold some of that stone because he's desperate for gold. So that was not part of the plan for him. Oh man, Stark is repairing his buildings here in front of his base, forced to house wall quickly, just getting away with that. Just waiting to take an engagement. Still no +2 defense on these knights, Dave.
Oh,
Fire
man.
has so many Eagle Warriors, 35 Eagle Warriors now. And he should be able to fight this. This is not enough for Stark.
Even Barracks coming down from Stark, he's gonna go, what, in the longsword, but he doesn't have any gold income?
I think he can pull it off still. I think it's still possible for him, but he needs to take a fight soon. But I really like the idea of him winning a fight and then building the castle immediately at the top of the hill or in the middle somehow. I like that thought. I like that plan. But he is relying on the market still. 20 more villagers. Will the market be enough for him? Fire's going to transition into pikemen as well, so pikemen will do a much better job versus these knights. Plus, he has a lot of Eagle Warriors. Crazy game here. But I'd say pretty big advantage now for Stark with map control at the very least.
You mean Fire?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Got your back, bro.
10 hours in, guys. I'm going to make mistakes.
Okay, Stark is coming out to TC this this little gold patch. We'll give him a few more minutes to build up his army.
It really comes down to options at this stage, because Incas can't get knights, so he's going to get all this extra gold. But if Stark has the counter to everything here in the longswords, is it going to be enough? Fire also has the St4rk castle now. He might be looking to castle in the middle himself, or maybe right next to this fight. Fire's going to take this fight, though. What do you think about this, Dave?
I think he's still gonna take a decent trade. Yeah, he still should probably clear this up, or Stark's only gonna have a couple units left by the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, Stark maybe waited a bit too long for that armor there, and now the Eagles are gonna flood in from Fire. It was actually a very close trade, but did Fire just give away his momentum? That's the question.
He's got monks out now to counter the knights, and like the longswords. The problem for Stark is he's on a clock. It's ticking, and the clock is those gold piles for how long they can last. Because any unit that he makes to counter the Eagles costs gold. There's no trash unit that's going to be decent against those Eagles.
If Fire goes Slingers, I think he wins the game. If he forgets that Slingers exist, then he could die to the longswords and knights. Because Slingers are available in the Castle Age, they would counter these longswordsmen nicely. But Fire has teched into full infantry, and so he has not added any Slingers out of his archery ranges, which I find to be a bit of a mistake if he continues going down this route. I'm just waiting for the castles to go up. There's the castle from Fire. In the middle, oh, and on the left-hand side, he has 2 castles. That's pretty big. Has Stark waited too long to take his engagements?
Stark's going into raid as well with some knights. He might get a bunch of vills. I mean, he might win this with trash. You never know, but Eagles are historically pretty good against trash.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think he went skirmishers because he saw the pikemen. That's my guess. And he's probably sending the knights forward because he saw the pikemen and he knows that these are weak and they'll be better off raiding the economy. A Fire with an insane number of house walls. Quick reaction time again. You can
just coming over here with the pikes.
You take the walls away from these players, but they will still impress with their quick walling skills, and it's given.
Here come the longswords into the middle.
There's a castle there, though. That is not
like,
one Stark
oh
wanted.
man.
The Fire's
Doesn't
on the
have
way
enough
in
to
now,
take down
too.
that castle. He's just gonna delete it, okay.
Dude, I still think, okay, Stark now selling his stone. Again, wanted the castle. Not gonna be able to do that because he doesn't have the gold and he's selling. What if he were to go to Fire's main eco right now? What if there was no house wall and he walked in? Fire would get completely destroyed, I think.
Yeah, if he killed that TC, which TC is Fire going up with?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Well, it's the main TC, but I mean, there's just no military composition at the moment that Fire can use to combat this. He's still waiting for the Imperial Age, has not added slingers, which is such an awful, awful decision or lack of a decision for him.
Well, skirmishers do decently against slingers, right? So.
Oh yeah, they would do very well, and maybe Stark expected that. I'm trying to get back to the main part of the overlay, but while we're here, you can see Fire has collected 3,000 more golds. Stark has 60 more population, though, and he has a unit that Fire simply does not have the counter for at the moment. I don't see what Imperial Age will give him unless he wants to raid with Eagle Warriors or something. He's going with Kameyooks at the moment. And this house wall is just obnoxious from Fire. Just
He's going
absolutely
slingers.
ridiculous.
He's going slingers now, but look at that stack with those long swords. Just gonna take down that house so fast.
Yeah, that will
even with those
definitely get down.
repairs. Oh, they're holding on! They're holding on!
Well, skirmishers are going to show up now, and they're going to allow entry by killing those villagers. In go the longswords and the skirmishers. Will Fire have the resources for Elite Eagle? He does. He barely does, and he's clicked it now. And now Stark is on the way to end.
I don't know how. He has no gold left at all.
Market abuse, man. He's
completely
doing
done.
Exactly what you would do. Look at the quick houses from Fire. Fire even deleting a farm, so he could just house wall these units in. But it's going to be unsuccessful. There's a hole there, and so much of his economy is back here. He will have to rely on the market, but he will be using his extra gold to buy food, while Stark has been selling his food. This is ridiculous.
Also, there are Kameyooks on the way to this army, and Eagle's coming in to deal with the skirmishers as well.
I'm just not sure if Stark has done enough damage with this army to justify him going in here and getting trapped. At this stage, maybe he tries to take a trade. I feel like
I mean, he had to, right?
Yeah, he has
He
to
had
take a
to
trade
do
here.
it.
Oh, you mean he had to run in or take the trade? 'Cause
Yeah,
this trade
he
is
had to run
amazing.
in. Look, the trade is good.
That's great.
Like,
the one
he did
mistake
so
from
much
Stark-
damage there to Fire, and that's the only thing he could have done. He couldn't push the middle.
Well, now he can push the middle, dude. He's going to be an imp soon. He has a castle up on the right-hand side. Is Stark going to win Golden Pit without even
By
being
selling
in the pit?
res.
Yeah, by selling
just-
resources. Like, he's going to win Golden Pit by never entering the pit. Unreal.
Outmassing and selling res.
I think that Stark should have gone to the wood line on the left with these skirmishers. I mean, they're going to die now, but it would have been made that so much better had he hit the economy. I can't believe it, but I think Stark can do this, man.
I think there's a possibility there. I mean, whoever has a castle in the middle is going to be at a disadvantage because you can hill bonus that all day. But as soon as you take the castle out, there's also the fact that Stark has to secure that gold and start collecting it, you know? Which is something Fire can counter pretty easily.
Look at the military numbers now. Stark, because of his extra food eco, he has 47 military. Fire, he has 200 food. He has 18 military. He cannot afford to create much right now. And he is on the verge of getting pushed out of the middle with all this extra gold. Crazy. And Stark is also going to get guilds now and sell more resources to get gold. He's completely out of it. He has no gold income whatsoever.
More slingers coming in. If he gets the critical mass of slingers, and he's got the gold to produce units, it's just whether he can keep his food eco going, right? Fire?
Exactly. Dude, we saw that in the other game. So often players recognize that they're idling food economy, and we stress a lot gold and stone, but it's just down to stopping your opponent from being able to produce. This Eagle raid could be devastating to Stark if he doesn't realize it. Elite Eagles from Fire going right into that wood line. And Stark reacting quickly and sending over the long swords and the Gebettos to deal with that. And at the same time, Stark was in Fire's woodline as well. And he's going to find at least 5 Vil picks there. And he's causing a lot of idle time.
These slingers do so well against infantry, I always forget. He just has to build up enough of them.
I think Stark is trying to keep Fire on the back foot now. He's sending in multiple armies. He's going to focus on the middle now with the trebuchets. He knows that Fire doesn't have the numbers, so he's just going to try and keep him distracted. But yeah, I agree. Those slingers doing well, especially with the quick walls from Fire. Not ideal for Stark. Stark needs the middle now, man. He cannot sell for much longer. He needs to get here now.
Fire have stone to repair? He does. Not doing it. I guess he just... He's just gonna give up on that castle? Like, it's gonna die anyway, right?
Markets are so important. I thought he had purchased some stone. I guess at the end of the day, he still has the gold villagers here, so...
There's nothing you can do to save that castle.
Exactly. This has given Fire some time to pop up a little bit more. He has 40 military. Also, in my opinion, Fire has the more diverse composition. He has the Eagle Warriors to counter any archer units, and then he has the Slingers to counter the champions. And he's doing a good job at cleaning up the champions at the back of his base, but will he be able to defend on the hill as Stark pushes in with champions and elite skirmishers?
This is all of Stark's gold here in one spot, and he's still selling. Oh my god.
This is amazing. This game is amazing. Can Stark somehow push this back? This is so much eco for Fire. Fire's at 108 Vils. I guess that this is probably 40 plus villagers for Fire. He's relying on this gold while Stark needs it. He's been relying on the market, and the champions taking a great engagement there. I can't quite tell. I think all of the Eagles are going to get cleaned up. And
where are the Slingers?
They're out of position.
They're nowhere to be found.
They're still back in Fire's base because he was dealing with the raids. The question is, can Stark keep up the momentum here? He's killing TCs, but now the Eagle Warriors are in on his skirmishers. He needs to keep the champion numbers up. Fire has the Slingers on the left-hand side. He's creating them out of archery ranges. He's patrolling them in, so they're slowly getting here.
I'm watching Stark's gold, man.
Clock, man.
I've been watching Stark's gold, dude. I don't even think so. It's been going down to 1,200, and then it just pops right back up to 600. And he's good to go again. He's just selling like a madman.
Well, he's taking good engagements, but now the Slingers are here. Can he get some of this gold? Fire, not worried about it. Still collecting resources.
Lightcap from Stark would be a good addition against these Slingers. And the skirmishers as well. Look at Fire's Villas in the middle. He's got nothing to support them.
And now Farimba for Stark. So he somehow is affording Farimba, which is going to help the cavalry out even more. The chain parting armor upgrades coming in. Where is this guy getting his resources from?
Is he gonna go place? Yeah, he's taking the relics now, and he's just gonna task villagers to a mining camp in the middle to just YOLO gold, because that's what he needs right now.
Every little bit of gold he gets is so important. I mean, Fire's rebuilding buildings now as well. Fire used to have castles here. Fire used to have town centers here. A nice little micro from Fire. He recognizes he needs to kill the skirms, but at the same time, nice micro from Stark.
You know what's stupid actually? Fire has nothing but gold, so he's buying food and he's jacking the prices up, which is giving Stark fucking gold because he's selling food.
That is hilarious. And you know what? It's all part of the plan, man. He's sending in the light cap to the farming eco. You can tell Fire has had no time to focus on this. You're right. The prices probably aren't as bad as we thought. To sell food now, you're getting 30 gold, which isn't as bad as it normally is, because Fire has been purchasing it. Still, it's so close. It does seem like Stark is losing control of the middle now. He's collected a little bit of gold.
But Stark is raiding so much in Fire's base, and like we said, Fire was buying food.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have farms in like the wood eco. And Stark is sending light cab now. Fire down to 95 villagers, and most of them are in the middle. And now he's taking gold in the middle. Let's go, Stark!
Oh, man. But Stark is going to lose these villagers eventually, but every little bit of gold he gets means he can hold on to more food. Selling 500 food, selling 100 gold, like you said, just selling non-stop. I love the eco rating. The eco rating is a great idea, but will it be enough? He
Look,
hasn't
Fire's
had gold.
buying more food! He's buying more food!
Fire's
Stark
buying
can sell
food.
for good
Unbelievable. This is actually going to work, isn't it? Look at the micro now with the skirmishers killing the slingers. It is actually going to work.
Oh my god. Fire is single-handedly keeping Stark in this game by buying food and wood.
But the crazy thing is, it's not like it's a mistake. It's just he has to. Otherwise, he would die. So it's just back and forth here. Craziness,
One of those things that makes AoE great.
Yeah, there's so many things about this particular game that is great. It's 71 military for Stark. He has a lot of skirmishers. What is Fire doing? Did he misclick?
He's sending all of his villagers!
I think he knows he's going to lose it now. I think he knows he's going to lose it. And if he runs back home, he's screwed. He has no eco back there. And he's getting Stark.
Light Cab are just mucking his farms, too. He keeps losing so many... 83 villagers for him now.
Stark has to have it. Stark has to have it. At this rate, with the spam, he has to have... Now, dude, that was awful positioning of his skirmishers, though.
But he doesn't... Man, he needs pot... Like, he's making stables on the right-hand side as well to raid Fire's base. And he's just, like... bare bones eco, but he's making it work somehow. He has a town center going down in the middle.
He's gonna go for a TC. The Fire is now below 70 villagers because of all the raiding in the middle and on the farms, and that's a lot of champions. And I think with this batch of champions and batch of skirmishers, the Fire's gonna have no answers to this. Oh, he's gonna go to castle! He's gonna go to castle here! Did he buy the castle?
Let's go!
I don't know if he didn't purchase the castle. He's just been banking up the stone. He's gonna try and save the middle with the castle. And this castle should go up. A lot of villagers will die. But this... Hold on.
Is it gonna go up?
Gone up?
Yeah, it did.
Oh my gosh. Whew. I mean, do you think the castle really helps him here?
If I can't have gold, neither can you.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
I think he knows, like, if Stark gets access to any gold, he's done.
He knows it's over. Look,
he's just done. He's calling
70
the GG.
population.
What a
Stark
game.
winning. Unbelievable. That was sick. That was sick. He just now got to this gold, and I'm pretty sure he was out of it at the 25-30 minute mark. Stark just full booming, selling, and going for the light cab raid, which in turn gave him more gold by selling his own food. Just the weirdest circle of events.
This is if you had a YouTube clickbait title, this would be AoE 2 capitalism at its finest.
I'll keep that in mind.
Stark had the supply and Fire had the demand, and that's how Stark won.
I will keep that in mind. I'm not a clickbaiter though, so I would never do that.
Of course not.
So there's the KD, guys. There's the units killed, the units lost. So close in the end. That's incredible. I can't wait to see the eco difference. 10k gold for Stark, 21k for Fire. Wow. But look at the food, the wood, and the gold. Huge differences there. Well played. That was a really cool game. I know you thought it was over for Stark for a long time. I thought he had a very, very small chance, but I didn't actually expect
it was the
him to win.
correct play to go. Like, Fire didn't put enough emphasis on defending his eco. He just he didn't. He was all in the middle, and he just figured he had it won. And then there was a correct play from Stark to hit the food and wood eco. Fire, and then like just completely unintentional jacking up the prices. That was hilarious.
He really wasn't. He put himself in that position because he didn't make slingers in castle, I think. Because if you allow the momentum... Sorry, guys, there you go. If you allow the momentum, then it's going to be tough to come back. Game 7 is Arabia Mirror, by the way. So that makes it 4-2. To those that's joining from Nilly's stream, welcome. This is my 24-hour Age of Empires stream. And we are casting T90 series. We will have one more game.
It was a sick game.
Yeah. All the games have been pretty good, honestly. With two players that normally wall up a lot as well. So last game will be a good old Arabia.